programs. And it's a premier general research university. So we are very open to new research assignments, thoughts, and ideas, and we have made serious contributions in all the journals in Pakistan which are accredited. And so today we are going to talk with Mr. Asif Peer, who is CEO of Systems Limited. But before getting into the discussions, I would like to give a little brief about systems. The rest he can explain better, but I'll give the highlighters only. Systems was founded in 1977 and has a distinction of being Pakistan's first software technology company. The organization prides itself on being the country's biggest IT exporter for 2019 and first Pakistani technology organization to be included in Forbes Asia prestigious list of best under $1 billion company, which is a tremendous hallmark, keeping in view all uh, the changing landscape in the world of work and how the things are shaping up. The systems have been very much, along with the sailing with the wind. So it was the criteria was very firm by Forbes, and as we understand, it was based on top and bottom line growth, exceptional performance, sales and profit, debt levels, and robust governance. So these factors combined, put them on the world map of top performing $100 billion companies. Inshallah, we see to it, it's going to become a first unicorn out of Pakistan. And governance is one area where we as a nation and as any business entity, we really need to look into and learn from Asif Peer Saab what exactly they have done, because all the other factors are subject to how you're governing them. And the companies which are excluded, they had serious governance issues, questionable accounting, environmental concerns, management issues, legal troubles. So this shows the integrity of the company was very well respected, and they did through their sheer hard work, excellent work, and the intellectual capital they have in their system. So it is among the top 3 publicly traded companies in Pakistan Stock Exchange also, which is another milestone. So this is about systems, and before we move forward, I'd like to give a little brief about Mr. Asif Peer. He has been, I'll start with his current thing, he has been CEO and Managing Director of Systems Limited since January 1st, 2013. Asif Peer joined Systems Limited in 1995 as a software programmer. He exhibited strong leadership qualities early in his career and quickly rose through the ranks. He spent 13 years at Systems Limited US office as Chief Operating Officer and has provided valuable contributions in the development of solutions and products, which is incredible. Solutions and products both, that acted as catalysts to the company's phenomenal growth within the US market. So this is a little quick brief. Rest, I would like Asif Saab to, talk more about all the achievements and contributions. And so I would like to say hello to Asif Saab and thank you for creating time for this session, because you have to, as we say that, the future of technology is based on talent and not on technology, because technology you can purchase, talent probably you need to groom and train. So that's where you emerge very nicely, because we have a student strength of over 25,000 students, and they will all be looking at you to mentor them, to guide them, to tell them how should they prepare themselves for the disrupted emerging world of work and the work landscape, and what a guru like you can tell them. So it's over to you, Asif Saab.
Thank you very much. Thank you for a warm introduction. Hope you guys can hear me clearly. Is it okay, or you guys hear me clearly?
Yeah, you are audible, no problem.
Wonderful, wonderful. So first of all, thank you again for inviting me to this session, and I'm really looking forward to give you guys whatever from my limited knowledge, whatever I can. I'll do my best to give you about 15-20 minutes roughly the presentation, and then I would like to open up the forum. You guys can ask any questions related to digital transformation, related to anything which is pertinent to the field, and I would be more than happy to answer any of your questions as well. And I'm assuming someone from UMT team will moderate the question Q&A, and then we'll go from there, right?
That's
So
correct.
again, thank you, and good afternoon. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. So let's start with the presentation where, second. Okay, so I think from Systems Limited, you guys got a brief intro of myself. I've been with Systems since 26 years now. So it has been, of course, it's a journey, like just celebrated 25 years last year. So it's Alhamdulillah, I would say that from where I started, and I've spent a good 13, 14 years abroad in North America and spent some time in Middle East, and now, of course, leading Europe and other regions as well. So global experience from consulting, from implementation, from pre-sales to sales to delivery operations. I've been doing this since last 25 plus years. So Systems Limited, as we are the oldest and the largest software system integrator, technology powerhouse of Pakistan, with overall, like in Pakistan, we have about 3,500 plus people in Pakistan, about 6,500 globally. We're serving about 400 customers, 4 continents, as you can see the locations. We are the largest software exporter out of Pakistan from a software consulting services and overall software exporter as well. And as we're recognized and we're blessed and thanks recognized by the Forbes. I think I'm humbled and say that it's my team. I'm proud of my team. We have a great leadership team, great management, great colleagues that are part of this journey because we are in people business. As Khalid Saab just said, we need talent and talent and talent, right? So that's our core mantra that we need to build, groom, and nurture people as we move along from soft skills to technical skills to wherever they would like to go. And we want to produce people who can be utilized by the industry as well, because we feel proud that we are giving back to the ecosystem as well. We want to nurture and retain all of them. But of course, as we all know in a talent business, the people go abroad, people move here and there. And we feel proud that if people are successful, whoever we groom, if they are successful, we are more than happy, because that's our purpose is basically we want to generate as much employment as possible, because what I tell my team is the sky is the limit right now. God has given us an opportunity to shine from Pakistan and bring more business, more exports, more employment, whether it's BPO to IT to technology, leading edge, all of it. We need to provide opportunities to our people and students, especially when they graduate out of any college. They need to be looking forward of a great journey in their career and not just looking for a typical job. So it's that's what how they need to think, that we need to build a career in it, right, and take it forward. So that's one. That's high level overview of systems and brief overview of myself as well. Now we will go into the topic, like why I think this was the topic that was given to me, digital transformation, digital disruption. So I will start with a very simple definition of there are various versions you will find on Google, various versions you will find in every principal website. They will say digital transformation and this and that, but in a very crude way, like if you digital transformation starts when you as whoever you are, you think in your mind about the customers, right? That whether your customers, like from a university perspective, students are their customers. They need to look at their faculty as a customer or a user, right? Whatever you call. So once we start looking at every actor that is going to be part of your ecosystem, how you are going to make their lives easier, how you are going to give them a user interface which is seamless, digitally connected, so they don't have to pick up the phone, they don't have to leave your application, they don't have to leave your portals, they don't have to leave your websites, and they get what they want, right? So you are actually digitally connecting, digitally transforming the entire value chain, keeping in view your main actors. So if you are building an app, you're building an app for someone, right? You have to know what is their journey is going to be, what is the journey orchestration, where they would like to see, what they what they consider is ease of using it, and it should be intuitive enough that you don't need to like give them a user manual to read through because that age has gone where people are now used to learn from user manuals and downloading and reading the book. Now people need to the applications or connected world, it needs to be like that, it is intuitive, that you just need to just log in and you figure it out that what you need to do. So that's how the digital transformation orchestration and journey needs to be thought through. So I'm just giving, since we are living in Pakistan, of course, so I just thought that we can just put the context of Pakistan first, uh, from digital transformation perspective, where we are today. So digital disruption is already here in Pakistan as well. 165 million-ish people are using mobile phones in today's 200 out of 230 million, 20 plus million population. 87 million have internet penetration today. Our huge advantage of our population 129, about 60% plus, and 50,000 plus e-merchant retail, small books, small businesses selling their things digitally by transforming their business models to make sure that this is how they are connecting with their customer. I think customer is the key. And customer, as I explained, can be anyone. You just think in your mind everybody is your customer, whether it's like as I gave you an example of your university, it's this is how it is, right? Okay, so now the next is trends in digital and mobile commerce growth despite hurdles. So uh, in our country, of course, this is the key. Still, the mobile commerce and e-commerce is struggling because we're still figuring out the payment mechanism. We are still figuring out touchless operations. We are still figuring out the last mile delivery challenges. We're still figuring out logistic as a country. So yes, but we are in a positive direction where digital channels are quickly replacing paper-based now with the young population in our country, with the more and more smartphone adoption, and now smartphone manufacturing is going to happen in Pakistan. So more and more smartphone accessibility and ease of application doing business will make a lot of difference. Banking done back, I think Rast is a good initiative, and every wallet, including one of our subsidiary, OneLoad, we all are trying to disrupt and make sure that we have banking the unbanked community, and we just want to make sure that everybody's connected. Digital payment has a 40% share, which we all know, and I think e-commerce is going to grow. Right now, we are nowhere near, to be honest with you, where we should be. COVID has accelerated this e-commerce thing, but I where we are today, we should have been much uh, ahead of the curve because we still are struggling in e-commerce from that those 2 3 perspective. Okay, so challenges in current market, as again I'm keeping Pakistan in a context for 2 3 slides to make sure that we understand, because we need to solve the problem in this ecosystem to be successful, because this is our home ground, this is the learning ground. Once we do certain things here, then of course it's going to help us in the future for like a future path wherever you want to go. So inconsistent omni-channel experience, I'm sure most of the students and professors know what omni-channel unified experience is basically, but just wanted to share it. Doesn't Omni-channel is channel independent, whether you are buying from the store, or whether you're buying from online, you get the same experience, similar experience. You can buy online, return it in the store. You can buy online and pick up in the store. All of these scenarios are omni-channel. And nowadays, what retailers are doing, that they are using their store inventory in a distributed order management. They are using their store inventory for e-commerce inventory as well. So optimizing and using those inventories across the channels, even making their retail shop as an e-commerce inventory, is making a huge difference in e-commerce and retail and digital experience. Customer experience is the key, that how customers are engaged. As I said, if customers are not engaged and they need a user manual, then you can't transform it digitally. Decrease customer loyalty. Customer loyalty now, you can't, it is not SMSs, like bulk SMSs to everyone doesn't work. You have to have a customer loyalty, you have to have a customer data, you have to personalize as per what you have learned the behavior from the customers, because customer behavioral segmentation, behavioral analysis, the big data, social listening, all of this comes into the play when we're talking about customer loyalty. Decreased level of trust, increased competition. Of course, in our country, of course, people are still scared to use their own credit cards on online. I think this is, you guys all agree with me. So that's what I was meant by decreased level of trust. Increased competition is, of course, it's good. I would say competition needs to be there. So we disrupt and we don't remain in a comfort zone. We are all challenged by the competition. Okay, so okay. So customer revolution, new ways, basically, I think if you uh, again see the percentages, use consult their phones while deciding in store. So now even you go to the store, and especially in North America or Europe, if you want to compare certain products, certain pricing, you can do it. They do the price matches as well. So it's a whole different ball game, whole different experience. It's nothing new, but I think still, uh, I think I would say big data, offline, mobile, online. I think in Pakistan is still a long way to go, but I think customer is now savvy, and they are looking for the better customer experience, better deals, better journey, better conversion. Uh, and I think they do, it's a research based customer, more and more research based customer. So you need to know that who's your customer. As I said, customer should be your nucleus, should be your focus point. So you know what they want. And even you can predict if you are churning them. That's what the data gives you. The big data gives you all of this. Like you can predict your inventories, you can predict based on your historical information, you can predict which season, which date, how many footfall, what is going to happen. If this customer has not visited my store, it's most likely to be churned or whatever. So everything is possible in today's world because we have the power of big data, we have power of AI, we have power of machine learning, and with the segmentation, with the loyalty, with the personalization, with social listening, all of this is a game changer in today's world. And again, I'll keep saying and repeating myself, think, and think, who is your customer, who is your addressable customer base. If you're going, whether it's a B2B or whether it B2C, both channels are very important, or any other channels which are not that common. B2B, B2C are more. So that's next one is the rise of digital banking consumers. I think you will see more and more, like uh, unfortunately in our country 90% of the people are unbanked, and we might have like very 1.5 million unique credit card users. Unique, one person can have multiple credit cards. So look at our penetration is nothing, right? So now people are with this COVID situation. I think what we have seen during COVID, I think many companies who were relying on their brick and mortar and not focusing on e-commerce, they came to us and say that we need our e-commerce site up and running in 6 weeks, 8 weeks. They were talking, not talking in months. They started talking in weeks. They were challenging us that can you do it? Because if the time was in essence, because they were losing a lot. So this has changed a lot, and you can see omni-digital, omni-channel human interaction. It's all in a positive direction. Okay, so digital disruption is both threat and opportunity. Again, it's definitely you can have an examples. I can give you few examples for US, JCPenney, Sears, all of these big Kmart, all of these big retailers have been wiped off. I can give you examples after examples after examples. Even uh, in your technical world, many Blackberries and so forth, Nokias and all of them, they were vanished because they didn't focus on what the consumer need, what their consumers' loyalty is, what their consumer preference is. But look at the other side of the coin, other side of the equation internationally, what Walmart has done. Walmart was legacy as Kmart, right? Kmart was bigger. I think whoever has known a little bit about US, Walmart, at least I'm sure 100% of the student must have known. So Amazon and Walmart, what they have done, they have changed their model. They didn't they stick to the basics. Brick and mortar was there, but they were like buying e-commerce companies. They were be left, right, and center creating the marketplaces. They were left, right, and center creating the networks, trading partners, and using their technology as an experience and using their data as a key to attract and market and personalize all their campaigns and so on and so forth. So uh, I think this digital disruption, it's about you and about us. Should we take an advantage, think more, and make more profits, more sustainable business, or we just be just don't bother about it and keep seeing that threat? And I think that threat, if you don't address, the companies are wiping out. You can't in Pakistan. Probably you can survive for a year or two or three because unfortunately things are not working that fast as it has been in like Europe and North America. Over there you can't sustain even for a quarter now, so things are crazily competition is crazily investing, and everybody is investing, and if you don't invest, then I think you will leave behind. So disruptors entering as new challenge. I think I just highlighted few, but you guys know it. Like you look at the Paytm type of use cases where they just in India they just transfer payments, digital wallet, and now they are like about 10 billion plus. So everything is now, you would say, from a global disruptors will continue to challenge. I think what again you need to, if you live in this ecosystem, I think every day you will come up with the use cases. I think you just need to open up your minds, right? So if you're going to do something and you find difficulty as a user of this, idea comes to your plate, like why I'm going through this hassle, how can I simplify this experience? So all of you guys, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You live in this ecosystem, right? Use cases are left, right, and center. You just have to think about the problem that you, your colleagues, your families, your relatives are constantly facing through either inefficiencies in the system, through inefficient customer design, inefficient customer response, businesses like a three middlemen in between. Like say for example, I'm selling it to a distributor is selling to a retailer is selling to a consumer, right? So order booker to secondary marketing and the channels after channel in the supply chain, can you simplify that supply chain? There are many, I'm just giving you one example. Can you cut the middleman? How can you have a seamless experience? Can you reach to a business directly to your business? Can you reach directly to your consumer? And how? What you need to do, what will be in for them, what will be in for you. So I think if you can constantly challenge your mind around those things, you will come up with this digital transformation in one of the use cases and you will nail it, right? uh, so, so keep constantly pushing your mind, keep constantly thinking about those things.
Asif, can you please talk a bit louder? Thoda sa, I've lost you. Your voice is gone.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, is
Now it's
it
better.
better?
Yeah.
Is it, you have not been hearing throughout, or?
No, no, we were hearing, but बीच में dip आ गया था.
Acha. Let me see if
I
my
think it's
voice.
fine.
It's
Yeah, if
okay.
you connect it from your mobile, then the voice will be very clear. So I have connected from my mobile. The voice is very clear.
No, no, it's okay. Fine. Please carry on.
Okay. Sorry.
That's okay, I think. That's okay.
Okay. So Amazon has disrupted retail so far, so I don't have to explain. Of course, you guys can see how their recommendation engine makes sure they, once you are on their website, conversion rate is higher. They're really focused on customer journey. When customer comes into your any page, they need to convert. And when they buy anything, they recommend based on your persona. So they collect so much information and the data about similar people like you. As a social listening, I was explaining social commerce. Now social commerce is in, like, while and through live video streaming, earlier in earlier days, people have TV shows to sell. The model comes and they sell on TVs and so on and so forth. Now everything has been transformed. It's in social commerce is the new age, where during the video somebody can buy, do everything. So things are changing and they have to make a user experience. Amazon, from a day one, they were inventor of one thing, like one push button, one click button orders, deal of the day. You just push a button and your order is placed. I think I'm just giving an example, but there are many examples like that they have been constantly doing, because I think they are all the time they are in a startup mentality, that we need to continuously disrupt one thing after the other, one thing after the other, one thing after the other in the ecosystem. When they realize there's a payment issue, they go for the payments. When they realize this is a supply chain issue, they go for buying distribution. It's a warehouse, whatever, right? So think like that. I think for any problem, I think you can disrupt through digital transformation. Opportunity size is immense. Opportunity is great in this country, and of course outside. So the most important part, as I keep saying from the slide 0 till now, rethink experience, experience, and experience. What is a consumer journey orchestration? What customer is going to think about your solution, right? So rethink about the experience. I think your journey, user journeys, personas, about your actors or users that are going to be engaged. So then you will be able to rethink the intelligence, and you will be able to engage and recommend customers in their preferred channel, right? Because what Amazon does, when you go buy one thing, they will say similar people like you have bought this and this combination. the and they and sometimes you buy it because you believe that if I buy this, everybody is buying this as well, so it might be a good combo. It's one. There are 10 ways to explain that. Rethink data. I think uh, I think people don't confuse this. I think what we used to, like 10 years ago or 15 years ago, what we were all used to do is tell me what happened yesterday. Okay, I want to run my, like, your professor will run a report and say that how many students were enrolled yesterday, show me the report, right? So you get the report, what happened yesterday. So that's a descriptive reporting, right? You get everything. But now things have changed. Now if I want to see, I want to predict something. So now my machine is learning the historical data. I want to know from my previous 10 years of data, if my admission, I have 10,000 applicants, uh, I'm going to get 500, I'm predicting I'll get 500 successes, right? And if I need to reach at, then machine learning comes into play. Machine is learning and from the past data and giving you that predictive behavior. And now if I want to solve this issue, instead of 500, if I want to have 1,000, I want my result to be 1,000. What prescription, what do I need to do? What is my prescription? That's the AI comes into play. So it's a prescription, like doctor prescribe you after understanding. So I think which this whole thing, social data, big data, AI, has changed, and the computational power, I think the biggest disruption is cloud, because now computational power is available to us. Earlier we used to think, oh itna data hoga, कैसे आएगा, कितना कहाँ रखेंगे, क्या होगा, कितने सालों का डेटा स्टोर कर सकते हैं, audit requirement is 7 years and blah blah blah. Now it's no brainer, right? So cloud has changed this mindset to us as well, that how can we rethink and think data. So again, connect in every customer, as I keep, this is the core essence of digital transformation about the customer life cycle. Acquire, engage, retain, and grow. I think this is, I want to know when I'm a customer, I want, as a business, I want to be engaged, to know my customer better, and I want to sell more and more to them and grow with them, because customer acquisition cost in e-commerce is the highest. The customer acquisition cost, like how do you measure e-commerce success? It's a CAC ratio, customer acquisition cost ratio. So if your CAC is higher, then I think you're churning more customers, but you need retain, because once you sell 2 orders a year to them, then you are going to make a money, or whatever the model you apply. But that's a key. So I just set the content in 30 minutes of my time to make sure that we just set the stage. I'm open for any questions. I hope it made sense, or I just tried my best to convey. I think most of the things are not new. I'm sure a lot of people, 99% of the people know what I've just said, but it's important to re-emphasize and engage people to make sure that they understand what is the opportunity ahead of us in this ecosystem.
Great, Asif. Any questions? Otherwise, I have few questions with me. I'll continue with them.
Sorry?
All right, Asif, as we, it was excellent talk which you gave us. But since we are a premier general university with heavy research orientation, and we have School of Engineering, a lot of faculty members, PhDs, and students are also online. So, एक तो angle का we understand expectations and delivery in the mind of a consumer has changed, and the suppliers have to, fine tune their service offering by keeping those factors in, like convenience factor, convenience and ease of doing a transaction, if we put it. अच्छा एक now we are hearing new terms. पहले वो consumerism था, फिर netizens आया net के साथ, अब वो digitalization के साथ digirati is the new kid in town. So moving forward, एक जो question which have been asked by me is कि हम जब भी digitalization की बात करते हैं तो हम e-commerce की तरफ चले जाते हैं, consumer buying behavior and spending की तरफ चले जाते हैं. Jabke world is looking at using digital technology in digitization of whatever we do. For example, in healthcare practices, in diagnostic practices, like organ printing, like you have a doctor inside a small capsule which goes in, and it's all enabler is IT for all of them. And and all of these factors, there's a lot more. The list goes on and on and on. उसमें हम जब digitization की बात करते हैं in our current practices which we are following, including teaching academia maybe. So do you think we need to broaden our mental scope to absorb all these factors into digitalization? And while we are studying different languages and technologies and softwares, we should also be doing multidisciplinary research, or to find some new solutions with a research of consequence which can be commercialized and monetized. So I just need your broad thoughts,
Yeah, I think as you rightly said, I think it's not the consumer. I think digital connected or digital world is open for everything, whatever we do, whether it's a record keeping to your business, to a student, to library. I think this is a game changer for how we used to think, right? So I think it's not just about the consumer and just B2C and you're selling something. As I gave an example earlier, that you need to think about your students, right? As an university, how their experience to from enrollment to onboarding to giving exams to giving the feedback to fees, all the jazz, all the touch points that in the journey that one actor, which is say for example student, is there, then how they are going to transform their life cycle, their journey. So that's why I keep using the word journey, right? So it's a persona, and each actor has different persona. Each actor needs to be thinking about from the journey perspective.
Okay, Asif sir, I'm starting off with the questions because I'll appreciate अगर आप हमें थोड़ा सा time दे देना because we need to satisfy the question और थोड़ा से एक दो discussions और भी हैं, very small, 2 minutes each. I have a
जी
sorry.
खालिद साहब ठीक है, you can ask a question. In the meantime, we would also request Dean, School of System and Technology, Dr. Yasir
Sure.
Daniya, should
Please.
also share his some academic experience and the initiatives that UMT has taken to promote computer science and cutting edge technology through our different degree programs. I think it would be good for the forum to know something about it.
जी आसिफ साहब.
Thank you.
Yasir Daniya,
Thank
sir.
you, Asif. First of all, a very informative session by Mr. Peer. Digitalization is, of course, a new era in Pakistan. Unfortunately, during the last few years, say last 20 years, we have not been able to capture the market as such. I remember in 90s, our Pakistani market had a share of a few hundred million US dollars in software industry, and still our share has not enlarged as much as it has enlarged in India. India is now about $150 billion market, and Pakistan is still struggling at $3 billion. But some of the Systems Private Limited, it's a unique software house, because in very testing times, in very challenging times, it was still able to survive. I remember when during the dot-com fall and during the downturn of 2007, many companies had to shut down. But Systems Private Limited still managed. They had such a robust policy that they still managed to survive. And I would like to ask Mr. Peer also that what were their strategy by which they managed to survive. That will be very interesting to know. Moreover, we have many diverse programs relevant to computer science. We have a large bachelor student body. They have enrolled in different programs like bachelors in computer science, bachelors in software engineering, bachelors in information technology. And most recently, we have also started few new programs at bachelor's level, which is bachelor's in artificial intelligence and bachelor's in cybersecurity. Also, we have a very active graduate program, which is very active in terms of research. We have many programs in the graduate, which is computer science, SC, IT, cybersecurity, also data science, and few others as well. And we also have a PhD program. So our faculty is also very diverse. Nearly, we have about 100 faculty members, core computing faculty members, and almost 25% of the faculty, or maybe more, is PhD, and most of them are HEC recognized supervisors. They are actively involved in research. Many of the areas Mr. Peer has talked about, like customer research, many of our faculty are working in those areas, and like e-commerce, many faculty members are working in the area of e-commerce, developing various different projects. And also IoT is an emerging discipline in our faculty. We are also intent to introduce a new program on IoT, which maybe in the next fall will be available. So I would like to ask Mr. Peer that what was the strategy of systems in those downturn years that it managed to survive? And also Mr. Peer talked quite much about, he paid very much emphasis on customer research. You know, in Pakistan, there are no privacy laws, and in case such active customer research is carried on, don't you think that will have many repercussions and many ramifications in terms of our society?
Okay. Thank you, Yasab, and truly appreciate it. And I think it's great to see that you guys are carrying a lot of bachelor's program for the students to, and this is really the need of time right now. I would be very honest. What I see now, things have changed. I think if we would have this discussion pre-COVID, I would have said it different things. Right now, post-COVID, post-pandemic, Pakistan is one of the destination where we see a lot of demand coming to our country, because now people really don't see the boundary between on-site, offshore, because they realize that working from home is a working from home, right? So if I'm giving the same time zone, we adopted, like, okay, we are matching your time. Like we start when the Europe start, we end when the Europe ends. They feel that suddenly we are getting the same communication. What's wrong with it? And they are cheaper, of course. When I'm sitting in Europe, I'm charging 3x. So if the productivity is even 20% less, saving is huge. Everybody is thinking like that. So things have transformed. So now you ask the question, what is our strategy? I think our strategy was always, since we believe in people, we believe in talent, we are employee-owned company. Very few companies in Pakistan have an employee ownership. So we nurtured that culture. I think most of you guys probably know Syed Babar Ali. He started this company in 1977. He was like a majority shareholder, 75% or more. What he nurtured the culture from the day one, whoever is active management and contributing in the growth of the company, he dilute himself and give the stocks to an employee or a management or a leadership. So by that token, he diluted himself to 5% or less, and he has given away the equity to employees. What it gives employees? Ownership.
I think other software houses should learn from you. This is a very good initiative.
Because it's a people business, right? I'm staying 26 years of my life into it. I can't be just anyone. If there is, we always believe that ownership, responsibility, culture, but everyone then somehow thinks that they can open up their own as well. So if you give that kind of a, that if company is growing, you will grow with the company as well. So once this culture is there, then people put their heart and soul in it, right? Because they believe that they are making a difference in their whole journey, their own journey is going to be associated with the company's journey. So you are not in a job. I tell my people, it's not a, are you coming for a job, career, or it's a calling? So if it is a calling type of attitude, where then it's a whole different experience. Job is job, right? Anyone, you can find a job anywhere in the world, right? And you can earn more, a few rupees here and there or dollars here and there, but that's a different. And we we are reinventing or redoing every few years. We change, we rethink our strategy, change something. We bring new things because we believe that change is constant and we can't just be doing the same thing over and over again and expecting the different results. So we're very flexible and agile and nimble in the execution and the change management in the company, and that the culture is the key, right? We are hiring people, like we hire 300 fresh grad every year, right? So if we are adding 300 fresh grad into a system, then they whole have a different minds, then accommodating them into teams and the culture and the values of the company. This is how we have mastered, like adding more fresh blood to experience leadership and making sure they understand the culture of the company, because our customer savviness, our culture, our employee ownership, everything needs to matter, because if the culture is good and then I think things work. Then you don't need to push, because in our world you can't make people work through a stick or a push. It has to be self-motivating, self-driving. It can't be like you have to do this. You can't manage people in our business. You have to lead them. There is no way that in our type of people business where people are smarter, they are graduate. We are dealing with smart people, smart minds. You can't tell them what, you can't force them to do it, to lead them to do it. So this is what I tell my sorry, not students, my team, that don't try to manage people, try to lead them.
Also,
Excellent.
there are
Try
many
to manage people, try
many
to lead.
students attending the session. They want to know which area should they work, because you have a good eye on the future. They want to know which area should they work on to be successful in future, and which
I would
areas
give,
do you think?
and that's a great question. I would give you my honest answer, right? My honest answer to all of you who have attended: don't worry about it, right? Be open, have a good attitude, build hunger and energy into yourself. And if you have studied well in your and brushed up your concepts, you can learn anything and everything at any given point in time. So don't put yourself in a box that I want to do AI, I want to do this, I want to do that. At your part of the career, be open, flexible, and just come with an attitude that I want to learn. We don't expect you to be an expert on the day one, but you have to have a learning attitude. We don't need your GPAs. If you are gold medalist and your attitude is not good, you are no longer good for us, because we work in teams. Teaming is very important for us. So come up with a great attitude, and attitude to learn, and don't box yourself, because if you box yourself and if you don't get your desired job, then you will be demotivated, and you do not want to be demotivated on the day one. You have to have a full of hunger and energy, and hunger and energy trumps the experience. Please believe me that. It doesn't matter, I have a 10-year of experience, I should be better than you. You should have hunger and energy to beat me, right? So that should be the key.
Do you also have that, sir?
Ji, probably, Dr. Saab, we should also take this opportunity that how UMT and Systems Limited can work together, for the uh, students' internship and projects, how we can bring about the quality in our education with the help of people like Asif Peer and other, software giants. Uh, just get to know his willingness and experience, and his desire to help the universities also with his vast experience of international rather experience in working in the technologies. I think his few words to our students as a piece of advice would go a long way for their bright future and career, sir.
No, thank you, Asaf. I think we are always willing, because that's a common problem we have, right? We have to take this country to the next level, right? So we need to produce talent, and we need talent. As I said, now demand is coming, and if the talent is not there, we are back to square one. We can't get. God has given us this opportunity to shine. We can't just let it go. So we are, my team and myself, we definitely would love to collaborate and tell you guys that what industry is looking, because people go for the buzzwords, that everybody wants to go for data, AI, machine learning, because these are the buzzwords, blockchain. Believe me, like if we need 100 front-end developers, we need 5 AI developers, because that can't be in quantity. Quantity is, and of course, every company will have 1 or 2 data scientists, but they will have many engineers who are working on digital transformation. So that's why we would love to even work with you and tell you that these are the things that we believe that you guys should be in the final semester. These are the practical things that a student should be learning and doing, and we can sponsor, like we can do internship, of course, some sort of, not to, of course we have to be selective, but we need to figure out a way. And then also final year projects, so they can come and work on the practical projects versus theory, like if they with the companies. And once we collaborate on that, so once they are graduated, they are not, we don't need them to retrain for 6 months. Again, as I say that, we don't believe that you guys need to come 100% prepared on the day one, but of course we expect that how can we minimize our initial training period as well. So I think, as I said, a student comes with a very, very open mind and willing to learn. And everybody knows the digital data cloud is key these days, so they should have the good concepts about it. And I think it goes a long way.
Right, Ji. Khalid Naki Saab, please, how you
Okay.
will wrap up this wonderful, seminar.
Asif, Peer Sahab, there are 2-3 things. Ek humne, I spoke to some McKinsey guys very recently, and they said that there's a huge gap going to get created in talent side, and that will be fed by India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, this region, right? And are you creating sufficient talent? And their study says no. So they have taken some specific initiatives, and we are also aligned to them. We are working with those companies just पे काम कर रही हैं. So now the future, just आपने, you have rightly said, कि if we miss out on talent part, we'll miss out on this uptide, and then the ship is gone. So we have 2-3 suggestions for you, sir. Number one, जैसे आपने लिखा FIPs में you can help. हमारा एक cooperative education का हमने program शुरू किया है, जिसपे students will go and spend 6 months or a year in an organization. They will work as a full-time employees. During that 6 months to 1 year tenure, they will be learning your culture, your practices, your technology, how you work, and you'll be grooming him, training him as per your, desired expectations of the organization. So, uspe, if you allow, we can send you our proposal, and if somebody from your organization can connect with us, so I'll be very happy to fine-tune this proposal particular to your organization. They will do their internship in your organization, they'll do their projects on your organization, and they will do their FYP with advisor from the industry, academic advisor to hoga from industry, which will be your company. And by the time he graduates, you'll be having a person with 6 months to a year's experience added to his degree. And your downtime, training time goes down.
We are aligned. मैं तो pitch कर रहा हूँ ये सबको कि I think this is the only way to scale up, because I think and I think you are communicating with my team, so please go ahead and discuss, and we will engage our HR head as well in the discussion.
Actually, because then we'll tie it up with our School of Systems and Technology. Asif Daniel Saab is here, and then we can work out a detailed program which can be shared with you. दूसरा सर ये है कि हमारा स्टूडेंट अफेयर्स एक है, हम पार्टिसिपेंट अफेयर्स कहते हैं, उसमें आई वुड लाइक टू कीपिंग इन व्यू इन चैलेंजेस को कैप्चर कैसे करना है, एक डिजिराटी क्लब आई वांट टू इनिशिएट, एंड इफ वी कैन डू को ब्रांडिंग ऑफ दैट क्लब, systems UMT collaborative initiative of Digirati, whereby they will become your ambassadors. They'll be training and grooming other students also, and they'll be pushing them to to be savvy in the digital era, whatever they need to know. Plus they have projects and competitions like robotics, like .NET ke upar, hackathons and all that stuff. So we will appreciate agar
Zarur.
establishing that club here, and we will give you the students who will be working as Digiratis, and they will be your ambassadors here.
We are open to
These
all
were
of
two
those.
small requests. The third one, you have rightly said, attitude, hunger, energy, and concepts. So जो चीज probably हमें और थोड़ी सी focus करनी चाहिए, that is, you know, एक because the future में जो अगर मैं कोई niche create कर सकता हूँ, या anybody, that will be based on imagination and creativity, or data has taken our outlook away from imagination towards something which may take us to nowhere.
So, sorry to interrupt, Khalid Nakisa. We need to wrap it up because Mr. Asif Peer is committed, and we will get in touch with Systems Limited and its HR later on. Thank you very much, sir.
So, Asif, I understand you are short of time.
No, I think we will definitely, I think all of these suggestions, what you have given, we are open and keen. As I said, this is a need of us, a need of the industry as well. And we need you guys to add more and more qualitative, quality people into your system and give us the more and more talent. And also we would, I think, love to come up with certain training programs using your facilities or faculty or whatever to make sure that we train more experienced people as well into this ecosystem, because this is what we all need to work together. I think we can't just say that this is a government job to do it. I think it's everybody has to contribute and play their part into it, you know.
Well, great. I mean, we should not be looking at government, as they say, generally speaking. Just sir, one last thing. एक हमारा Innovation Capital Development Forum है, it's a think tank, जिस पे we need people like you to come and sound into advocacy platform, and उस पे we'll send you some papers and email कर देंगे आपको, and we will request you कि अभी कभी आप उसमें, you know, once in a month, जब भी हम IT की table run करेंगे या management की, या the main thing in anything is the development of a culture for that particular thing. It could be digitization, it could be any era, any age. We need to get up with a culture which can absorb and facilitate that. तो उसके लिए we'll send you some documents. We'll appreciate अगर आप उसके ऊपर आ जाएं. And respecting your time, sir, as I'm told that you're running short of time, there was a lot of questions which I had here from students and some from other offices also, but we'll delay for the next time.
I think you guys can send us the questions and I will dictate, I will give the response and somebody will email, and I hope you guys have a registration detail of whoever is joined or has asked the question, so you can send them their responses back.
Thank you very much. We'll send you an email, sir. We'll send you email.
Thank you again. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, students. And thank you, Yasir Saab, Asif Saab, Khalid Saab, and all of you guys for joining and giving us an opportunity to present. And I'm really thankful and hope there was some take-home value.
Thank you.
Thank you, Asif. That was
Thanks for
great
your time.
takeaway.
Thanks.
Attitude, hunger, energy, concepts was the takeaway. And I think if you have that, you have it in you. So thank you very much for your time, sir. And we look forward to more support from you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you to everybody.
Right, sir, इसे proper stop करेंगे ना, फिर आपके पास recording आएगी. Right, sir? Right, sir, इसे stop करेंगे ना.
Sir, kindly share the recording to us. Sir, recording मिल सकती है?
Sure, we will.
Recording is available on UMT Facebook.
Sir, kindly share the link of the page.
मैंने कहा UMT के Facebook पे जाए, वहाँ पे पढ़िए.
Okay, sir. We'll check.